What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks, presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't checked out Scores and Odds already, just making bad life choices. Go on to scoresandodds.com, sign up, and you get access to all the picks from all the greats here, RG and Scores and Odds. Me, Daniel, Meansy, Noto, all the greats over that. Just list goes on and on. Plus, you get access to all the little tools over there, including Dean, who is a tool. Like this prop shopping tool where it tells you exactly what RG projects, what the best line is for the over and the under, and where to find it. Boom, it's that simple. Brunson projects for 1.5, 3 assists over his number at 3.5. Best line is 3.5 over at FanDuel. Makes it that easy. So go get signed up. Plus, you get access to Grant's Action Lounge, which every single bet I have throughout the day, including all these right here, get thrown into this chat. So you get them as soon as I bet them before the line moves, making it easy to make money and to tell you exactly where I bet them at and where the best line is. So go get signed up. I am joined today by, some would say my friend, someone would say my enemy, some would say the guy that mushed Aaron Gordon over 15.5 points last night. That's what I would say. Daniel Chavelson. How you doing there, Daniel?
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. You had Gordon over 15.5 points. He had 15 at the half. And, I didn't defend him or anything. I didn't make him miss any shots, but I was just like, yeah, he'll be fine. He just needs one more point. And he didn't get an extra point. I'm sorry. That's almost as bad as Jazz Chisholm stealing a base and then stealing it over the base and sliding off the base and then all of a sudden being out.
I feel like that should be a stolen base and a pickoff.
Well, yeah. I think it's not a pickoff, but yeah, it's I don't know. It's a weird one, but he had it, and they made the bases bigger this year. I don't know if that makes it trickier to slide off or less, difficult, but that's just how it goes. And he overslid it. It is just weird. Like, why do you have to get back on the base? Just touch the base, and you made it. Like, why do you have to stop all of a sudden? You're encouraging injuries.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's a strange thing.
Yeah, like being able to run through first base and go to the right, that's how it should be.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just always thought that was like, no, I'm not playing this one singular event, but I always thought it was just kind of strange that, like, why do you penalize a guy? He got there, and that's that. Like, why do you have to stay on it? It's not freeze tag.
Freeze tag, great game.
Did you play kick the can as a child?
No.
That might have been like an East Coast thing or something like that.
I played it a few times.
Oh, it was a thing. You were aware of it.
Yeah. No, I played it a few times, but it wasn't a big thing. Like I don't know. We did all sorts of weird things when I was a kid. Used to go sit and hang out on a bridge.
Yeah, you grew up like in a small town in Washington, right? It
wasn't that small. It was like 100,000 people.
Oh, that's a pretty big town. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were in a small town for some reason.
That's not that small. I was in Bend for like 6 years, and
is that Indiana, Bend?
That was smaller at that point. I think it was like 40,000 people. Bend, Oregon.
Oh, Bend, Oregon. Okay, yeah. Okay, there's, I guess, a different. Is there not a Bend in Indiana? I just made that up. Bend, Oregon.
There's South Bend, I believe.
There you go. That's where my brain was.
Is that where South Bend is? Where
that's where Notre Dame is, I believe.
Yeah, South Bend, Indiana. Yeah,
Irish.
Look at you. But we got basketball to talk about. Really got nothing for baseball. I hit Bailey over 4.5 strikeouts. Skubal over 5.5 strikeouts. Toronto -2 runs as that game already started. I believe it has.
Toronto starts at 2:05. I'm sorry, at 3:07. You don't have Vladdy for what it's worth. Vladdy's out.
Yeah, I don't care. Manoah's better than Whitlock. So I guess Toronto -2 at +240. That one's still on the board. It's just Manoah's better than Whitlock. So I'm going with that. And then Verlander over 6.5 strikeouts. You can get +115 over at Barstool. I don't believe that game has started yet.
It has not. That starts in a minute. The roof is closed, by the way.
That's probably it's probably better for pitchers, to be honest, because it's hot over in Arlington.
Yeah, it should suppress homers a little bit. It's a big ballpark when it's not opened.
Well, I thought the roof. Darn it. Days of the week are so tough. I thought it was Wednesday because I read the guy. I looked at the guy who
John Blake.
Yeah, John Blake, and I saw it, and I'm like, the roof will be open Wednesday. I'm like, great, it's Wednesday. It's good.
That's good.
Yeah, all right. I mean,
Turns out I think the Texas Rangers are just they'll tweet it out just as fast, if not faster, and let you know about the roof as well. You can follow them either one. Blake works for the Rangers, or just or is it Texas Ranger or like at Globe Life Park or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I like this John Blake guy. I like.
They'll let you know what color the uniforms are, which is important.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I need to know, but I'm happy to know it. Yeah, Gomber's already underway, under 5.5 strikeouts. Last time I checked, that wasn't looking great, but was looking terrible.
He's at 4.
He's at 4 now. How many pitches?
52 pitches, top of the 4th. They're hitting.
Yeah, it's not looking great. And then Aaron Judge over 1.5 total bases. I mean, he was going up against Zimmerman, who's
he's at the plate right now.
Well, let's see. I've got him.
If you want a live tilt, this is the Live Locks live tilt show.
I can live tilt with the best of them, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get on over to basketball. So yesterday I had already bet James Harden plus 140 over 2.5 3-pointers. Has not been great this series. It's just been non-existent. But I still bet it. That's from yesterday.
Somebody's got to step up for Philadelphia because like Toronto's done a really good job on Embiid. His usage has been down basically every single game. I was going through those. You know, you can look at the game log as far as his usage. It's been hit, and obviously we know he's dealing with the thumb. He's the torn ligament. Like if you believe in momentum, Toronto certainly has momentum in this series. They're down 3-2, but now they're home. They are slight dogs. We're not sure about FEV.
1.5 point. I kind of hope Toronto wins the series, but granted, I have money on Philly. But I guess I have like one boost where it was the Bucks, the Mavs, and Toronto to all win their series.
Bad news. Judge struck out.
Yeah, I saw it.
Freddie VanVleet is doubtful, and like we have that several stuff. Like, we have a Booker who may come back tonight, but probably not. If they need him for a game 7, I assume they'd want to have him like at full staff as opposed to.
Yeah, I think you risk the potential game 7.
Yeah, which is, by the way, shout out to New Orleans just for making I know it's made it a little easier with Booker missing some games, but making a series out of it. Toronto, like all these series in the first round, basically. I mean, Chicago kind of, it would have been
Chicago
worse.
and to an extent, Denver, Golden State.
Denver did what they could. Yeah. I mean, like Jokic, people are, you're going to get those tweets. You're going to get the dopes out there saying, oh, the MVP, you knocked out in the first round. Like, you're going to get that. And it's
against probably the odds-on favorite to win the championship.
With his second best teammate not available, his third best teammate not available, and the fourth and fifth and sixth not very good, and the bench horrific, but sure.
Yeah.
And it's, people context, it doesn't matter sometimes. Yeah. Do you think Mitchell plays? It seems like he's going to play, but.
Well, Gobert got stung in the face.
With a B. If you believe in signs, that can't be good. Mitchell, it's not just one quad, it's multiple quads. He's got quads.
Also, why is Gobert not just like hiring someone to take care of his bees during the playoffs?
Well, wait a second. You think he has like a pack of bees? I would assume.
No, it's his own private bees.
Wait, he's got his own stash?
Yeah.
Well, why does he have a stash of bees? I think that's the most important.
Some people find beekeeping therapeutic.
Wait a second. Rudy Gobert does he not have the outfit, the beekeeper's outfit? Is that not available?
He does, but sometimes they don't use it, which, like, if you get good with bees, a lot of times you're not going to get stung, is my understanding. I don't know. I'm not a beekeeper.
Are you in the market who's in the market for bees? Are they big in France? Like, I don't get it.
A lot of people just like beekeeping.
Like, I'm more of a beekeeping guy as opposed to like crochet or something. Like, as like a hobby.
Yeah.
I can't get past that. Like, now I'm on Donovan Mitchell's side if these guys don't like each other.
Well, I mean, Gobert seems like an idiot on all fronts.
I mean, I don't know.
He started the pandemic, Daniel.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think that was intentional, and it was happening either way. You could actually, if you want to flip it, you can give him credit for like expediting. If you want to do it, if you want to do that, but
yeah,
I think he was just
having.
I mean,
he's also not like, we have to realize he's 26 years old.
It is weird, like to think that, like, I mean, I didn't realize I'm that much older than Rudy. You don't realize because he looks like obviously looks like he is a man. He's not a man, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was 27 years old.
Yeah,
when the pandemic started. So, I can't really blame a 27-year-old for being dumb. Although I'm not that much older than him, I guess. I was pretty dumb at 27.
You've done some dumb things in the last year, I'm sure. Like not as well. I mean, again, that was not. I'm big on intent. I don't think he had any malicious intent.
Yeah. That's why I don't understand. Like intent is 9/10 of the law.
It's not possession; it's intent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But back to Jay Crowder over 9.5 points. 9, 11, 10 over the last 3. Getting this line at plus 100 odds. SAO projections. No, I don't want to go to MGM. MGM's dead to me.
Do you want a fun stat for Jay Crowder?
Go ahead.
Did you see this? He needs 11 points to pass. I mean, this is like misleading, obviously, but he needs 11 points tonight to pass Anthony Davis for all-time playoff points.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he cares too much about that, but we have him projected for 10.5.
Well, he might get the 11. We'll see.
Yeah.
He had 3 threes and a couple free throws.
Or just, a 2-pointer.
I guess he can do that too.
Like he's done multiple times in each of the last 4 games.
He can make 2-point shots.
But he's also been shooting horrible from behind the arc this series. He is 2 for 18. It's not going to keep up.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But
his intent, 9/10, like you said, his intent is for the ball to go in. So you got to give,
Yes, this is basketball, not the law. So I went with the over on that. Ja Morant, this game's tomorrow, I believe. Under 8.5 rebounds. I mean, the guy averages 5.5. I get he's been putting up triple doubles because he can't score in there. Playing differently, and Jaren Jackson Jr. has gotten into foul trouble, but Morant under 8.5 rebounds, even at minus 134. I mean, take the juice. It's just a bad line.
Yeah, I haven't even looked. Didn't know that line was out, but I guess I think that game is tomorrow night. Tonight is the triple header of well, it's not triple header because there's 2 games going on at once. But Philadelphia, Toronto, Phoenix, New Orleans, and Dallas versus Utah. Utah, by the way, a 1-point favorite. It looks like. Man, Dallas is really we talked about this one off air or on air. I don't recall. We had the conversation. We're talking about betting Dallas for the series that Luka might come in the back end and Dallas might steal a game early, and that's sort of what happened. But the one thing I let Dallas in the first game, and they lost by a half a point regrets. We should have had Dallas for the series. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Oh well.
You have a take on who wins that game?
Dallas
versus Utah. I think Dallas wins.
I think Dallas wins too. I mean they're a 0.5 point underdog. It's basically a pick 'em.
Yeah.
Wait, are they? Is it a pick 'em or?
I'm not sure. It's within a half a point or a point. But
it's one. Some places it's close to pick 'em. I want to see where the best line for that is. Obviously, the funniest thing is when I see basketball lines.
Yeah.
Occasionally you'll see them at minus 0.5.
What's the point?
With worse odds than the money line, I'm like, okay, I want you to think through this logically.
If this was soccer, but yeah.
Yeah, there's 0.000% chance of a tie. The game can get postponed, but there's no ties, especially in basketball. You can get a pick'em over at Caesars. It looks like it minus 110. I'd be if you're going Jazz, obviously you go with that.
I'm seeing not to cut you off, but I'm seeing a wide variety. I just pulled up the scores and odds, and I don't know how live this is. I assume it's live. DK Dallas minus 1, minus 110. I think that's Caesars plus 1.5, minus 120. So which side would you prefer? Yeah, right. You want the 1.5 minus 120, or you want the minus 1 minus 110? Wait, yeah.
I'd go with the minus 1 minus 1. Well, the easiest way to figure that out is just figure out the difference in break even point. Is there a 2% chance that the game ends it'd be 4% chance because you push on minus 1. So is there a 4% chance that the game ends at 1 point victory? I'd say yes.
I'd say yes too. I think there's a 4-point chance. I think that's about right. Yeah.
It looks like MaximBet has the Mavericks minus 0.5. So that's actually the best line at minus 1.9, but MaximBet's in very few places. But
That's
yeah,
just in Colorado, right? I was looking at BetMGM. That's the one. BetMGM is the one that has the Mavericks plus 1.5, minus 120.
yeah, yeah. So I'd take the Mavs, but I'd take them over at Caesars at minus 110 for a pick 'em. Don't fall for the. Well, I guess actually you can just bet the money line at DK at minus 110 or minus 115. I guess yeah, Caesar's the best line. But next bet is in the Memphis game, which Memphis is only a 1-point favorite. That seems a little. I know that this series has been weird, but Ja finally had it come together. That just seems like a bad line, doesn't it?
That's interesting. I didn't know that was the line. I haven't look ahead to that one. That game is in Minnesota, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking the Minnesota, or I'm taking the Memphis money line for a couple hundred. Like that's just a bad line.
Minnesota's found ways to like really put themselves in tough spots in that series. It's been a lot of fun to watch. I don't know how great those teams are, but it's been a blast to watch them. Like it's fun basketball, right? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you have like Memphis Futures and all that kind of stuff. And Minnesota certainly has their, their issues.
There's zero chance. Like Memphis can beat the Warriors. Minnesota can't.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think Golden State beats Memphis too, but like at least Memphis has a puncher's chance.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't be doubling down since I have a lot of money on futures, but I just doubled down. Yeah. Oh well.
You just bet something right now? What you just bet on?
I guess I just bet on Memphis to win the next game. Put 500 to win 954. Probably should have done that on a different site, but
did you lay one?
No, I got the money line.
Oh.
-1 is at minus 105, so I'm rolling with the money line.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, I have Jaren Jackson Jr. over 12.5 points. I think he's only beat that once in this entire season, but I gotta assume he's gonna stop fouling out in 15 minutes.
You'd think he would not do that. he knows how many fouls you have and how many he can deal. Yeah, but he's been in the league. He's not 19 anymore. He's like 22, 23 maybe. Triple J.
Yeah,
but he still finds his spots to foul people, and there's also like reasonable backups too. Like that they have like Clark is obviously risen. So yeah, but I agree with you. I think he's gonna figure it out, and I think the number is just too low more than anything else.
Yeah. So I bet the over at minus 105 Caesars. I bet Jack Roslovic over 0.5 goals.
I'm sorry, who's that now?
Jack Roslovic.
What team does he play for?
No idea. Let's figure that out. I've got a guy. Didn't work out.
I think just a heads up. Here's what I can tell you is that like there is some shenanigans going on with hockey because I don't know. It's not as extreme. My understanding. I'm speaking of ignorance, but talking to people. This is like their last day or couple days of hockey before the season's over. I think all the playoff spots are actually set as far as who's either in or got a chance to be in. Vegas got knocked out apparently near the end, but I'm just pulling it up now. I think is this the end for hockey? I think it's basically the end. Yeah. So Monday, no game scheduled. Sunday, there's one game. No games on Saturday. I don't know why is there just a Seattle versus winning? Is that like a makeup game or something? Yeah. So this looks like the last. I think everybody's playing. Looks like everybody plays tonight basically in hockey, and it's probably a big old mess. Maybe. But who's your guy? Jack who? Jack
Roslovic. He plays for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Okay. Yeah, they're a hockey team, hockey club.
Yeah. I don't know. I got it plus 300. I just put $200 on it, but I tell people I'll put on here whatever I bet. And
he's in the power play one line, so that's something.
Yeah. Let's see. Tonight, Chris Paul under 11.5 assists. I mean, that's just a huge number. Like, that's just massive. And I think we're getting the under at plus odds. Yeah, plus 108 over at FanDuel. He's gotten 11, 11, 14, 14, 10, 16, 12 recently, but I just that line's too high. That's a huge number.
pretty big number. No, presumably no Booker, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough. I mean, like I don't know. I don't lean. What are we projecting as far as his actual number? Like 11ish as far as this is.
I think we're projecting the under pretty decently. Let's see.
Yeah.
Um,
Pulling it up now too. See if we
why
can get
isn't
there.
it showing up? Did I not?
We're projecting
11.26.
11.3. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, right there on the number.
So Aaron in chat asking Caesars has a boost. Caesars has a boost with Paul and Ingram both 20 plus points. I mean, if you're going to do that, then generally go cross-reference it with other places. I don't know if it's a great bet. Boosted to plus 165. I mean, it's decent boost over what's it called has. What FanDuel has.
20 points?
Yeah, each to score 20 points. I mean, obviously, Ingram's pretty safe bet to do that. Let's do same game parlay.
Paul's projected for 18.25 for the record, so we have it under 20. We have Ingram well over at 25.86. So, like in theory, if say our number is right, say Chris Paul 18.5 is right, that should be just by itself a la carte like plus 115.
Yeah. Well, it's plus 115 over at what's it called? But I mean, Ingram is pretty like FanDuel has it minus 520.
Okay. Yeah. That seems more likely than not. And the game can blow out. Who knows? But probably not.
Yeah. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, Ingram. Let's see. Can't go all the way down to 20 points. So, okay, 20 plus. There we go. Let's see. Chris Paul, Brandon Ingram. They have it. DK has it plus 155. But DK's same game parlays are just awful. Because if someone gets scratched, then which I guess won't happen in the playoffs in this scenario. But if someone gets scratched, then if all your other legs hit, you get your money back. If someone gets scratched and one of the legs miss, then you.
I saw that. How is that legit? I mean, that basically the house gets a free roll, right?
I'm never doing same game parlays on DraftKings.
Is that a universal policy or that's mostly just a DK policy?
That's just DK. Just DK.
Now, are their odds a little bit better? Is it kind of built in or no?
I don't know. I don't mess around with DK.
Yeah.
Same game parlays.
You just can't do that to somebody. And people are rooting for stuff. They don't even know, and I'm sure half people don't even know like that their bet's voided if it hits.
Yeah.
I mean, and now you're just miserable and now you're hitting up customer service and it's a bad experience overall.
Yeah, it's so dumb. DeAndre Ayton under 20.5 points. Let's see what RG has. RG has him at 19.22. Decent juice, minus 118, but I don't think he gets there. I know last game he was close because I had the under and it hit, but he had like 18 3/4 in.
Who are you talking about? I'm sorry.
DeAndre Ayton. He had 19 3/4 in and ended up hitting. Does have 23 and 28 in the prior two. Obviously needs more scoring with Booker out, but 20.5 is a little bit too high for me at minus 118. J-Val under 2.5 assists. I think Scores and Odds disagrees with me on this one. Just barely. They have them at 2.61, so it's close to a coin flip.
You getting juice?
No, minus 105, so it's not bad juice, but I think I disagree with our projections slightly. Which happens. Not always going to agree with them. I don't just straight up go off of them. They're right more often than not, but there's certain spots where I disagree. My last bet, Reggie Bullock over 16.5 points, rebounds, assists. He's been hitting that every single game this series, I believe. Yeah, 9-7-2, 11-7-1, 12-6-3, 11-4-4. So he's hit it all 4 games this series. I know Luka coming back, like probably ate into his minutes a bit. He went from mid 40s to 30 in the last one. I don't know if that's fully the reason, but that's most of the reason there.
We're still projecting him for, I think, 40 tonight. So I'm not sure what happened in that game either. I can't comment on it.
Yeah, it might have just been a blowout. I think 41's a little bit high with Luka back, but I could be wrong. We We project Bullock. Yeah, we project Bullock for 19.3. So 16.5 minus 115 juice at MGM. Solid bet in my opinion.
So let's see. All the starters. I'm just pulling up the court IQ here. Let's see. When did everybody? Yeah, Luka came back for. It was a blowout. He came back for a few minutes in the fourth, but he left at 4:40, and I think that's when. Yeah, Bullock left at 5 minutes and 30. So he left 5 minutes on the table. Bullock, and he only played like a minute and a half of the fourth quarter. Yeah. So
Carlucci wants you to predict Danny Green's points tonight.
it's funny, Justin. He asked me to power rank the greens. Like the power rank just random things that are happening. And I guess there's usually like one sucker that you got to stick at the bottom, whether they deserve it. Somebody typically there's one guy that stands in. Danny Green, I guess, will be the last guy. But man, I was. What is Danny Green's projected points tonight?
7.88. His line 7.88. His line sitting at 8.5.
Oh, I kind of nailed it. Yeah. I wonder if he likes Philadelphia. It's so strange because Philly's up 3-2, but if they're talking like they already lost and they're up in the series 3-2. And I don't know if you saw that Doc quote the other day talking. They're already talking about, which by the way, he was right about the Magic. I know you can't just say like, look at that roster stunk. And I like him saying.
What year was that? 2004.
It's a long time ago. Yeah. Yeah. Pull it up. Whenever the Magic made the playoffs as an 8 seed, it's worth digging in. It's like, well, yeah, he was dealing, and it's the same sort of like, not to derail the whole conversation, but how people say like Jordan is 6-0 and LeBron is 3-5 in the finals. It's like, why is the official record only counted when when you made it to the championship? Like, look, Jordan was knocked out in the first round. He was knocked out in the second round, but he's not a loser until you get to the greatest part. Like you've come this far and you lose, and then you're a loser. Explain that logic to me.
Are you talking about when they were 8th seed or when they were 4th? Oh, yeah. Okay, 4th in the Atlantic Division. Yeah.
You weren't listening to anyone. I was saying.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's absolutely ridiculous to say, oh, Jordan never lost in the finals. Well, he lost in the playoffs. You're dumb. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just a weird. 6-0. Well, okay. What about he played more than 6 seasons? Yeah. Did you pull up the Magic? What we have as far as their roster?
Yeah, Horace Grant, Drew Gooden, Grant Hill, who's old at that point. He was
so good before he got hurt. Grant Hill.
Yeah, he wasn't that old. He was 25.
Oh, he was just old. Yeah, his body.
No, he was 30, 31. Yeah, Ryan Humphrey, Stephen Hunter, Sean Kemp.
Who was in the Magic, Sean Kemp?
Yeah, he was 34 at this point.
Wow, that's impressive. I didn't know that.
T-Mac, was this the different roster? I don't know, because I think next year they were terrible, and then they got Dwight Howard with the first overall pick. But is that roster that bad? I mean, I guess it's a bunch of old guys past their prime.
It's tough because you look at the names, but Kemp was no good anymore. Hill was no good anymore. T-Mac, I don't know if that was at the beginning of his career, the middle of his career. I don't recall. Like, he was good. He was,
T-Mac was 33.
Okay, so that wasn't the best version of T-Mac. He played minor league baseball. He was a pitcher.
Yeah.
After his basketball career. I don't think it worked out, but cool that he tried.
Looks like Ober got pulled with an injury. Great.
Oh, that's not good.
Gomber is mowing people down, which is not great for me.
He's got one more inning left, Gomber, and you got to sweat Gregorius, Quinn, and Segura.
Skewball's looking good. Things have not gone great with pitcher props so far this year. Still, I'm right around even this month.
I liked, man, I was Peralta. I was going to write him up, and I think it was 6.5, and he's got 7 because Pittsburgh is dreadful. Yeah. We talked about it yesterday with Sawinski. Sawinski cracked the lineup again. Did he strike him out twice or at least once? Let's see.
Well, I mean, Sawinski's not even a worse strikeout guy than anyone else in the lineup because they're all awful.
Well, Sawinski's projected the strikeout in the majors like 30%, according to zips and stuff like that.
Yeah, and what do you think everyone else is striking out in the pits?
28.
Chavez, 32. Gamble, 25. Hayes, 23. And they some of these guys have the platoon split. Van Meter, 27. Knapp, 33.
the larger picture is just that like nobody's scoring. Look, none. I mean, I did a DFS show earlier today. I don't know if you played DFS, like the 9-10 gamer, depending on where you're shopping. But just there's no runs, and the weather is terrible everywhere. And
it's like the hottest game was, I think, 58.
I'm trying to think where I know Roth on Scores and Odds, like, you know, Roth doesn't know like baseball, but he knows weather, and he's just like, well, this is going to go under. I think he had that Detroit game under, and there's a couple other Philadelphia he had under too, which is, you know, they're just not looking great. And you're seeing weird totals. Patrick Corbin's in a game, and the total was 7. It's 1-1 in the 5th. I mean, I was watching Pittsburgh earlier today, and the hitter like he cranked it right to the wall. Didn't it was caught. It didn't go out. I know Pittsburgh's tough ballpark for homers, but he literally threw his arms up like, I can't believe that didn't go out.
Yeah, I've had multiple bets where I see a barrel alert. I'm like, okay, so now got a home run. Nope, fly out. I'm like, all right, great. Well, he's not going to hit his over 1.5. Like I've had so many pitchers missed by the hook. Surprisingly, a lot with injuries. Which is the shortened spring training. But I've had it's gone terrible this year. Like I made back a few K, but I'm down like 5K on props. Luckily, I've just absolutely crushed run lines.
Yeah.
Like
what are the Braves tonight with the arrival of Acuna? Is there anything interesting out there on that? Kyle Wright's been awesome this year. Like, so Wright versus the Cubbies out. Acuna back. That makes that lineup so much better. I presume he's going to bat leadoff. I don't any reason why he wouldn't. Against Smiley, who's, whatever.
And it's 75 degrees. No, that's not. Atlanta's sitting at -203 is the average number. Let's see what the.
Yeah, give me the alt stuff. Yeah, that's a big number, obviously, to lay, but anything interesting as far as alts or not really?
I can check. Give me 1 second. Got to look at my handy dandy notebook. What's that from? Blues Clues?
I don't know Blues Clues.
Blues Clues, oh Blues Clues.
That is not my wheelhouse.
It's not really mine either, but let's see. I'm going to check out, some of these alt lines here.
I'm trying to see what the weather is next. That's obviously a pretty good, hitter's ballpark. Is it expected to be? Because I haven't looked at the night baseball slate yet. It's only a couple of games, I believe.
Yeah, I'm probably not looking.
74 degrees, wind slightly blowing in, but 74 is like a really welcome sight. Hey, there you go. Like right on cue. Like MLB exit velocity. I'm not sure if you follow that Twitter account. I think it's an RG one at MLB exit velocity. A barrel, Adolis Garcia, 407 feet, fly out. Barrel, Andrew Vaughn. This is only 325 feet, but that was probably more of a line drive. But yeah, all these. I just keep seeing them popping up. And then, of course...
Well, it's only 325 feet because the balls are terrible. And they're not consistent.
Yeah, Bassett went on that whole rant about it. And, look, if anybody would know, he would know. And talking about how, depending on the inning, the balls are different. And it's the weirdest thing because why would baseball go out of their way? You have to understand, the people want to see the ball get hit and hit far, and the long ball, it sells the game. And nobody wants to go to a 2-1 game with a couple bleeders and bloopers, and that's that.
I want to go to a 7-10 game with 8 home runs.
Arena baseball, that's fun.
I would love it if baseball just put metal bats in there.
Well, you might get some concussions, and the exit velocity of metal bats has been shown to be, obviously in the minors, and in college baseball they do that, but I think that's for financial reasons. It's just cheaper to have metal bats, right? I assume that's the reason why.
Yeah.
But safety, but college athletes, they don't care as much, I suppose. Unfortunately.
Well, they're not hitting it nearly as hard.
Well, if with a metal,
some are, but on average, the exit velocity is about 40% lower, 30% lower, something like that.
Is it? Are you just making that number up?
Yes, I'm entirely making that number up.
I think that's a bad number to make up.
Yeah, probably is.
You're talking about it goes from 100 mile an hour exit velocity to 60%? That's not correct.
You're right. They're also not putting the ball in play as much, if I remember correctly.
There's this dude on Tennessee that throws 103.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that nobody talks about. Pitchers are just better. Everybody's throwing the ball faster. It's harder and harder to hit baseballs, with the advancement of how good pitchers are becoming and specialists, I don't know what the solution is. Like you can't force the pitchers to maybe make the ball heavier, maybe move the mound back a couple feet. There's got to be some kind of solution to enhance offense. But what they're doing right now,
I mean, so all you have to do is it was kind of, what was it, 2 years with the juiced balls? That's all you need.
Yeah, well, I don't even know if we might be beyond that because again, the overall skill of pitchers is so good. Look at you watch the Pitching Ninja. Like I'm sure you've seen it. Like you watch it, it's like how, and like I'm just like amazed. Somebody's how do you even hit this? How are you barreling this ball up? Like sometimes, it's really really hard. And then when you do it, people get mad when you get excited and you celebrate and you flip your bat. It's like that was an incredible accomplishment. Flip away.
Yeah, I'm all in for the bat flip.
Oh, like celebrate it, man. That was hard to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going off on rants because I think we're out of bets.
yeah, and you lost our movie bet yesterday, so you have to watch Thor Ragnarok.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it can't get any worse. I think I slid in your DMs last night. And I told you how much.
Did you finish it? Did you finish Lord of the Rings?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I don't understand. Like, look. I know the critics love it. The population loves it. I just did not care. I did not like it. It looked impressive. Like, it was it looked good. I'll give you a nice presentation. I just didn't care, man. And it's like, wait a second. There's still 6 more hours of this. What else? There's a sequel, and then there's a third one. And there's also extended versions on HBO. There's like 4-hour versions of them, like director's cuts.
I love it.
Holy, I don't get it. Like, again, if you like it, have at it, enjoy yourself. But I'm watching it and I'm just like, I don't know why this is interesting to people. Maybe I'm just I don't know, man. It's just
maybe you're just an old curmudgeon like you are.
No, that's not that because I watched the new Batman, which is 3 hours long, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. So like it's not that like
Do you watch any Marvel movies, or you just never got into them?
I've seen most of the Spider-Mans, and I've liked most of them. If you throw anyone, Deadpool, that's not Marvel, right? I don't think that's like its own entity.
It is Marvel.
Oh, okay. The Deadpool's fine. Because it kind of winks at the audience, and they're sort of in on the joke. And
is Deadpool Marvel?
Yeah. What's that?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think Deadpool's Marvel, but I could be wrong.
It is Marvel.
Okay.
But there's weird things like. Even Spider-Man was Marvel for a long time, but it was owned by something outside of Marvel stuff. So they didn't actually they didn't add Spider-Man to the Avengers until they brokered. It's something weird. Like it's Deadpool and Spider-Man until recently have been under different set of rules.
Yeah.
Which is why also in Deadpool, like they only had 2 of the X-Men in there.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I vaguely remember. I mean, I watched them and I thought they were fine, but I don't remember the storylines.
Yeah.
There was a big dude. I remember that. Like
I might start giving you some for our bets. I'll give you some of my favorite Marvel movies. I feel like you won't get too angry about that.
Oh my God. Like, I look, I understand people like the Lord of the Rings and, but and you said like give it a chance. I'm like, I did. I tried. I just didn't care. Just like, don't care.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. It's not for everyone, but I love it.
Everybody loves it. If you look at the rankings and stuff like that, and again, it looked like it's an impressive piece of work visually.
Yeah,
I just didn't care about the story, I guess.
Yeah, well, we should probably get out of here. I got things to do the rest of the day since I don't really have any more bets.
I do too. What do you got to do?
Golfing.
Are you officially in the new?
I'm not. We're under guest membership right now because it still has to go through the approval process. Yeah, I had to send out 2 references. I forgot how tough it is to get into a country club. You
didn't ask me to be a reference. That's insult. Was that your third one? If you needed a third one,
I didn't even think about it because they said no, they've known for more than 5 years. So I'm like, well, one of my buddies I've known for 15 years, and he's a doctor. So
it's a good reference.
Being able to put doctor so and so.
That seems legit. Yeah.
And my other buddy is a member at a country club, so I'm like, I'll put him. But I guess I probably should have
up and say tell us about Grant.
They sent an email with a long form in it. I realized it's just to make sure to keep the riffraff out.
Yeah.
Like it was interesting on the forum. My buddy told me what was on there. Like, how do you handle? How does Grant handle big successes in business and celebrations? And I'm like, that's an interesting one to answer. And
popping bottles, is that like what they're asking basically?
Yeah, I guess. And then how does he handle like when business events go poorly? I'm like,
Happy Gilmore style.
well, I'm like, okay, I'm not really in a normal business, so it's an interesting one to say. But also, like, I'd like to think I'm one of the most level-headed people in our industry.
I think you're pretty level-headed, yeah. Yeah, and like, and you've had the moment of a great winning experience.
Yeah,
you can speak to that.
I've had multiple great winning experiences, and I've had
multiple. Well, like one thing stands out amongst the rest. Is that not correct?
One of them, yeah, I guess the SMBC is probably the number one. I mean, I was way like the first big win I had was what 100, depending on how you look at it, because a lot of it was like live final entries and stuff like that. But the first big win I had, I think, was like 180 when I was still an accountant. Like, got first in the Silver Slugger, the $1,000 400-person tournament, 100 on top. Yeah. I still think that might be still my biggest fantasy win. That still is my biggest fantasy win day ever, because I also got 2 seats to fantasy drafts or fantasy feuds, like 16K contests.
You love fantasy feud, man.
I got tied for first for the Chicago live final, like tied first in the bracket live weird thing. I can't remember what it was called. I won every tournament on Fantasy Feud, Fantasy Aces, every other one I had on FanDuel. No, it was a. Do you know who? I'm trying to remember. I think I remember my lineup. It was a Pirate. Huh?
I was guessing a team. White Sox?
No, it was a Pirates Marlins double stack in 2015. The day Carlos Carrasco pitched his no-hitter. I also had him.
Wow.
So no one was remotely close to me on any site, because I had 100% Carrasco, 100% Pirate stacks, and my secondary stacks were all over the place. But like Pittsburgh was like 2% owned and got like 5 home runs with the guys I was playing.
It's pretty wild to remember that so precisely. But and you had the same lineup across basically all different sites. That's
not the same lineup. I had Carrasco, who was lower owned than he should have been. This is before a lot of information was out there, and I had 100% Pirate stack, because I would do basically one lineup across every single site, and every single one of them was Pirate stacks.
I think that's the last time a Pirate stack won a tournament. I'm pretty sure.
There was a few times last year.
I'm sure it's happened. Yeah.
Didn't the Pirates just put up 21 runs the other day?
They did. Wait, no. It was against the Cubs, and I think they gave up 21 runs. Somebody lost 21-0 in Wrigley, and it was a win game with only 1 homer. And I think it was the Cubs beating the Pirates 21-0.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so yeah, they're hot garbage.
Are we making a wager? No, we're no. I still owe you. I owe you 2 now. Do you want to or no? I don't think so.
You don't owe me any. I already watched all your movies.
Yeah.
I watched Airbud the other day.
I didn't recommend Airbud, but that was just kind of a joke. And
one of us had to watch it. And I put in some analysis.
You slid into my DMs and told me that Richie Rich you're watching for some reason, and you said it was great. Richie Rich with Macaulay
very enjoyable.
No,
very very enjoyable.
And were you with a child when you watched this, or you watched this just by yourself?
I was with a young 6-year-old dog.
What made you scrolled around? I guess I don't know. You're on Disney Plus.
It was with my fiance, and so trying to find something to watch with her. I'm like, Richie Rich. She's like, yeah, that sounds good. I'm like, yes.
And she liked it too.
Yeah, she fell asleep. So
well, but that's not a rousing endorsement. You don't put that.
It's not like she fell asleep. She falls asleep during every movie. She fell asleep during Nightmare Alley when we went in the movie theater, and I hear her snoring like very quietly. And I'm like, and I hear snoring louder. I'm like, is she really? And I look to my right, and 2 other people are passed out.
That was a great movie. I don't know why.
It was a great movie. There was alcohol. It's It's a theater that serves alcohol. So.
TJ was talking about like best movies, like the best 5 movies you've seen like in the last 3 or 4 years. And like if you really start thinking about it, like new movies that have come out in the last 3 or 4 years, like, you know, I was trying to think about it and I'm like, I don't even like my list. I don't think my list is spectacular. Parasite was one of them that came up on there, but maybe Nightmare Alley. I'm not sure. I thought that was really good, but
Parasite was really good. I mean, I just hate reading, but I kept my phone down. I watched the entire thing. I read it because of on your recommendation, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Did
if it would have been dubbed, I would have loved it.
Yeah.
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 I understand why they do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I have ADD, so I'm like fully focused on reading, and then I just get angry at how much I had to read for the last 2 hours. And I just like I can't bounce back and forth, so sometimes I'm not seeing what's going on because I'm reading the subtitles. So.
But I guess Zach Wheeler is fine. I'm not sure what the velocity is today, but he's pitching really, really good. He's been rough all season. The Colorado lineup certainly helps without Chris Bryant, but 90 pitches, 6 hits.
Bet Zach. I went to go bet Zach Wheeler, and it was on FanDuel, so I could only get like $20, and I'm like, that's not worth it.
7 Ks.
Yeah, I was going to bet the over on his strikeouts. I think he was my expert survey and CBRs. He was my number 1 pitcher, I think, on both sides. So I got that.
Yeah, that was a tricky one because I didn't know how to handle him because the matchup's awesome, but he's been pretty bad by his standards so far this season. Velocity's been down. He hasn't thrown a ton of pitches, but they let him go to 90. Like he closed out in 2 strikeouts. I imagine he's done after 6, but he was awesome.
Yeah.
1 hit.
Nice.
4 walks though, which is not good. But yeah.
It's not great, but I mean it's not that bad. All right. Well, I think it's time to get on out of here.
Did we say it all? I think we said it all and then some.
We need to still do our bet. Is there any of my bets that you were against?
Let's see. Is there any bet that you have that I didn't love?
Crowder, Morant, Triple J, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, J Val, Bullock.
I don't know.
Verlander.
Well, I mean,
Memphis.
Judge is not going to get those 2 base.
Well, the game's already started.
I know. Just being a jerk.
Do you want to take Minnesota? I'll take Memphis.
I don't have a take on it, but if you really want me to, I can.
Yeah. I mean, they're both -10.
Yeah, I don't have a take, to be honest. Sure, why not? And we'll think of a movie for each other if necessary.
Yeah, I'm probably with you. I'm probably gonna go Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, is that good?
Yeah, love it. Absolutely loved it.
Is that the one with Groot?
Yeah.
Okay. I just know that guy.
It got 92 on Rotten Tomatoes by the critics. 92.
There's several, right? Isn't there more than one?
There's 2 of them, and I think there's a 3rd one coming out. I'm just giving you my favorite one. So Ragnarok's number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy's number 2, probably. It's more fun than serious. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Like the comedy in Thor Ragnarok is pretty good.
Thor's funny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris Hemsworth is hilarious.
As like a general thought? Like he's a funny guy?
Yeah, he's a hilarious guy in real life.
I just know he's like a big rip dude, right? He's like
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's kind of like Channing Tatum. Like you get those roles because you're attractive and
21 Jump Street.
Yoked. Yeah, and well, you get like all the roles, and then you realize like, oh, Channing Tatum's hilarious in 21 Jump Street, and then he just keeps doing stuff, and he's just funny. He's just a funny guy.
He's got speed and power. He's good looking. He's funny. Is he nice? I don't know. Seems like a decent guy.
Same thing with like Ryan Reynolds. Like,
yeah,
he plays the heartthrob, and then he gets cast in Van Wilder, and they're like, oh, if we just let him play himself, he's fantastic.
Like Gosling, you a Gosling guy?
Not as much as Ryan Reynolds, but yeah, he's a funny guy.
You gonna power rank the Ryans? You got Reynolds ahead. All right, we should. I guess we should go. We should wrap it up.
Yeah, we went 15
Is anybody listening to this nonsense at this point? I have no idea, but we're just.
I think we have like 15 viewers right now.
Do you want us to power rank the Ryans? But yeah,
what's the other one? Ryan Gosling, Ryan Reynolds. I feel like there was one more.
Seacrest.
Seacrest last.
I don't know.
Reynolds, Seacrest, Gosling. All right, Reynolds, Gosling, Seacrest is the.
Seacrest is like this last. Yeah.
All right. Well, time to get on out of here, guys. It's been fun. We're out here. See you, kids.